Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for tuning in. A few minutes late, the streaming things, we're live. You can just go with the flow. So we are finally here. Thanks for hanging with us and being part of this. So appreciate you tuning in today for another edition of Behind the Mic here in our MusicTown studios on the second floor of Hockeytown, downtown Detroit. So we have another special guest here. Welcome, Teddy Roberts. Hi, Teddy.
Hello.
Teddy, right? Teddy,
Yeah.
not Ted. Thanks for coming in.
No problem.
You are part of. Well, you're the front man for Teddy Roberts and the Mouths.
That's correct, yeah.
So no mouths today.
Not today, just me.
Okay.
So.
And guitar, which is fine. Normally, do you play with them? It's just, I know when we do this, it's during the day, and a lot of musicians have other jobs.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, when we play at night, we got a whole band we'll bring out to our gigs. So.
Yeah, well, let's give them a shout out. They're not able to be here today, but let's give them a shout out. So the members of the Mouths are.
Yeah, so we got two brothers in the band to start on the rhythm section, which I think helps. Drummer and bass player. The drummer's name is John Lebecki, and our bass player is Mark Lebecki.
Are they twins? Twins, right? Okay.
Yeah. And of course, they end up being a drummer and a bass player. So just by DNA, they're already locked in pretty tight. So I think that works to the band's advantage. And then we have a pedal steel player named Brent Allen. He's fantastic. And sometimes we'll bring out a fiddle player named Josh Stokes.
Okay.
Also goes by the name Wolfgang Chuck, but he's got a story behind that. But his real name is Josh Stokes. So he'll come out for special gigs here and there. So.
Okay. Very cool. Well, I'm sorry they're not here today, but and people can go online and watch videos and hear the whole thing and the whole band together. So do you go out solo very much? Or is
Recently, no. Started out playing a lot of solo gigs, but now that we got the whole band rolling, I prefer that.
Okay.
We're playing solo, but I have no problem playing the songs by themselves.
Okay.
So
what you're going to play for us are actually songs that the whole band consider Teddy Roberts and the Mouths music.
Yeah.
That you're just going to play solo. Okay.
Yeah. All these songs kind of start out this way, and I would bring them to the guys, and we'd work on them, and then flesh them out, and they turned into what they are now, recorded. But I think if you can play it, that's just on a guitar singing.
Yes.
Without anything else, that's a good sign. So
that's the true test. If you can take that song, play it with just a piano or a guitar, one instrument, and and play it and it's good, then you're an artist. And I've heard some different renditions of how that's put. But if you need the whole band for a song to sound good, you can't play it as a solo. Then
you want it to be a crutch,
Yes, the song needs help. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Not always, but that's kind of the gist of it. As far as songwriting goes. Now, when you is it normal that you bring the songs to the group, or do they all pitch in when you bring something to the table when you go to sit down to to finalize a song?
Yeah, I usually bring all the songs to the table. I'm always chipping away at writing songs on my own, just nonstop. It's just what I do.
Okay.
And when I feel like I have a batch I really like that blend well together, I'll bring them to rehearsal, bring them to the guys, and we'll just kind of hash them out, and then we take them to the studio. But I'll demo them out of my house on my own. But yeah, I usually bring the songs to the table.
Okay.
So, and there's no set time. I don't set aside 2 weeks and I got to write 10 songs. It's just kind of throughout the year, whatever I'm ended up doing. I'm always just kind of writing songs. So.
And you started writing at a very early age, my understanding is.
Yeah, I've been writing songs for a long time.
Yeah.
I've been writing songs since I was in like middle school, high school. Middle school probably I wouldn't count that because those are just dumb. But high school is when I actually started playing in bands.
They weren't dumb at the time, right?
Yeah. Well, they didn't make me $1 million yet, so.
Well, you were just honing your skill.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Did you have, like an English teacher or something that really was inspiring you to write and to put words down on paper?
No, actually, I would say like 90% of my time playing in bands and writing songs, like starting out, was just was really music based. I was always a musician first and foremost, before I would ever call myself a songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
I played drums full time.
Oh, okay.
That's my main instrument. I've been playing drums since I was 5.
Wow.
I play professionally around town and nationally and wherever in a couple other groups.
Okay.
And it's funny, a lot of the bands I would play for growing up, even when I was in high school, would just be technical metal bands, hardcore bands,
Metal.
punk and stuff like that. Also just other weird stuff where
Interesting.
the music was just absolutely insane, but it was fun, you know.
Uh-huh.
And then you get a little older, you kind of meet in the middle. And for these kind of songs, these are not technically proficient, I'd say, as far as my guitar work goes, but I think it's the song and the story that matters. And
Okay.
that's the point of this band. So
It's to do good songwriting, you mean?
yeah, it's making
Okay.
about songwriting and throwing some good licks here and there, you know. But yeah.
Because I know you guys really are focusing on the songwriting. That was your kind of your focus as a band. You wanted to really come up with the songwriting. That was going to be your main focus, as far as, instead of just playing out, being out and playing with your, the 4 of you or the 5 of you sometimes. That you really wanted to work on the songwriting. I mean, don't most bands want to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think me and the rest of the guys in the band and a lot of other bands I've played in, and just growing up trying to do the music thing, you get thrown into circles where you try too hard, which sounds kind of crazy as far as like the band thing goes. Like you write some songs with your friends in a basement and you record them, and then suddenly your first priority is to play 1,000 shows and tour and sleep in your van, which is what we all kind of did for a long time.
Okay.
But then, you're young, and there's also a lot of growing pains involved in that, and dealing with how you look online, how your photos look, your online presence, and just dealing with the nature of that, trying to just, play music professionally way, and then that all just gets really tiring as you get a little older, and and you just get sick of it. And this band was a great chance for us to we've all done the band thing. We're just gonna write some songs that we love playing, and we're just gonna play out when we can. We're not trying to kill ourselves doing it, but we're obviously working hard, having fun with it. But that's our first and foremost priority versus printing about 12 T-shirts and booking a 3.5-week DIY tour, playing in people's basements again like the old days.
Yeah.
We just want to play some local gigs for now.
Have some fun.
And just make it fun, because we're all busy doing our other things in music as well. So
Interesting. It's a good way to look at it. I mean, you've done that, been there, done that kind of thing, and now let's just do it for us, and just for the music, and have some fun with it. Very good. All right, why don't we hear a song? And we have a lot more to talk about, but let's jump into a song now. Is this? I know you have, as with the band, you had your debut come out last year. We'll talk about that, and then the new one's coming up, or is it already released? Just
it's not released yet. We got a couple new songs. I'll play one of those today.
Okay.
But yeah, we put out a record last year.
Yeah.
And that's all we got to our name so
So
far.
is this song you're going to play on one of these two?
Yeah, this is actually the first song off the first record we put out. It's
Okay.
called The Dogs.
The Dogs.
Yeah.
All right. Teddy Roberts with us
Cool.
here.
Well, now it seems I got caught up in my world again. So now I'm calling my mother just to tell her that I love her. She never sleeps or dreams, awake until the birds start to sing. I'm not surprised when she picks up the line. She says, how you been? What's going on? Nothing's changed, still on the run. Oh, I'd kill to be on that front porch and miss you and the dogs. I'm handle-locked, I can't go fast, but I'd still run. You're standing by, only in my mind, a feeling that I know. I only feel it all, and I don't trust in my own head. I'm reaching for the telephone again. I'm not surprised when she picks up the line. How you been? What's going on? Nothing's changed, still on the run. Oh, I'd kill to be on that front porch and miss you and the dogs. I'm handle-locked, I can't go fast, but I'd still run. I'm handle-locked, I can't go fast, but I'd still run.
Nice. The Dogs from the 2019 debut album, Never Wanna Die. Right? I got that right?
That's correct, yeah.
Shoo. Very nice. Yeah.
Thank you.
I like your voice. You got a nice and it's got this specific sound. I was trying to like pinpoint who it reminded me of, but couldn't get it. Couldn't find that, but nice. Like that.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you.
Did you officially take lessons singing and guitar and just learn on your own?
No, I just learned on my own.
Okay.
The only thing I was formally trained on was the drums. I took lessons growing up for a long time doing that.
Okay.
Kind of picked everything else up on my own, though.
Well, once you learn, some music, how to read music and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
it makes it a little easier.
Yeah. Doing drums, and I did like percussion and orchestra stuff, like in high school and college, and you obviously got to learn melody and chords and theory and stuff like that. So taking all that, that's where I finally learned like, oh, what notes are called and this and that, and then you just run with it, you know.
Okay. All right. Nice. All right. So debut album, and you said the next one you're working on the second one. Pretty impressive. You put one out one year, and then you got another one out. I mean, are you guys writing that many songs?
Yeah.
Really? Because the first one was full length. Is this second one full length as well?
This one is not going to be a full length. We recorded 4 songs, but I've already got more songs in the works. I figured if you got them, why not? You know.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think for the first record I had about 12 songs. We cut it down to 9.
Okay.
This one we had 7. We cut it down to 4. But
so you got an EP this time.
yeah, I think you can call it that.
Yeah.
Or maybe we'll definitely release that pretty soon. We're just figuring out a couple more details.
Okay.
So
it just seems like I know each song you have to recording and the studio time and the mixing and every song, but it seems like if you're going to, because all the other costs, the artwork or the packaging and all of that, it's like, well, if you're going to do all of that, throw in a couple more songs. I don't know. I'm just
I feel that.
Especially if you have songs. If you don't, if you're struggling, like, oh, I have no other songs that really feel good to put on, then that makes then that really makes sense. But
I think I'd rather releases be shorter and be more concise and feel great about every song.
Okay.
And then have a couple fillers, Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think on the last record that we recorded 10 or 11, and the ones that I cut, I liked them a lot. I really liked them, but I didn't love them. And that's just the thing, where you're like, I like this song a lot, but you don't love it. That's how just put it on the shelf. And I'm not worried. Like, I know at first filling up a record is tough. Writing that many songs is hard, But if you get into a swing of it and you feel comfortable, so just keep writing. I think Bruce Springsteen, and I think it was Born to Run or something. I think I read he had like 30 or 40 songs. You narrow it down to 10 or whatever.
Well, it's nice when you have that many.
Crazy.
You can narrow it down.
I know.
Well, you know you've got. Yes. Well, I mean, he's been doing this while he's professional. I mean, not that you're not. I didn't mean it that way, but yeah. No, I know what you mean. It's like when if you're constantly writing, like you said earlier, it's not like, oh my gosh, I got to come up with 10 songs to do an album. But if you're constantly writing, you've got a whole pool to choose from.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. Very good. So, what's the name of this upcoming one? What do we? Have a title yet?
I think we're gonna call it "Ain't No Outlaw."
Ain't No Outlaw. Okay.
Yeah, there's a song on it called "Ain't No Outlaw." It's pretty fun.
Now, when you're with the full band, more of a country genre, is that?
Yeah, you can call it country.
Okay.
Americana, folk. I think at first I like picking a lane. It's fun to, be like, hey, this is the lane we chose. We're gonna stay in it. Then the longer you do it, you just take up all the lanes and do whatever you want. So you could call this one. This one's definitely more country than the last one for sure. But who's to say we'll keep making country music? The next one could be a psychedelic rock record. Who knows?
Well, when I saw that, I thought, well, that's kind of interesting because of your backgrounds. The one guy was played in punk bands. Mm-hmm. Right, and you mentioned in the metal bands that you were in, and it's like
we all played in
very very odd to
metal,
me
scrappy basement punk bands and like pop punk bands and this and that forever. And so it's nice. It's definitely very different for everybody.
And then I saw country. Okay, from that, interesting. Mm-hmm. Do you find like some of that experience from say like the punk or the metal and all that kind of bleeds into this, even though you're calling it Americana country?
I think the work ethic spills over into it more than anything. Because in all our previous bands, this is all we've ever done. It's all we know. Yeah. It's all we want to do. And for me especially, I think I played drums in probably 80% of the bands I've been in. And I love playing this kind of music. And it was funny, the last 4 or 5 years of touring in our other groups, when we're out on the road and we're driving, all I'm listening to is country music all day. And then you go play a rock show, and then you get in the van.
Does it mess with your mind when you need to play?
No. I think at the end of the day, music's music, regardless of what you want to call it. Mm-hmm. I mean, it is kind of funny, like, if you really dove into... I know genres are necessary in a way, but what would you call country? Is it your voice? Is it the instrumentation? Yeah. Because I'm born in Metro Detroit. I don't have an accent, but I throw a pedal steel on a song and suddenly it's country. Like, who knows what makes it? I couldn't tell you. Yeah. I guess you kind of decide that on your own.
And I think the only reason for that is, and this is I don't know how many years ago now, but the record stores had a lot to do with it. It's like, we got to know where to file this so people can find it. And that was a big part of it. Mm-hmm. A part of it, I'll say. And especially when they get an album, it's like, well, where do we put this? That was difficult. And they didn't know how to promote it and sell it. So they were kind of putting a title on it, even though it may not have fit completely or something. So, but we don't have record stores anymore like we did before. Yeah. So
I think it is necessary, but it's also kind of, you can easily get pigeonholed if you're the artist,
Yeah, for sure.
So
you mentioned touring earlier, and you guys did like kind of Indiana, Illinois, Michigan.
Yeah, we played the Midwest. We did a tour. We did like a 2-week run on last spring with another one of my bands called Tiger's Jaw, and then this other band called Me Without You. And that took us all the way out to Salt Lake City, like through Colorado, out through like North and South Dakota and stuff like that. We came back through Chicago. So that was really fun. Uh-huh. That was great because those crowds were definitely not expecting us to be playing this kind of music. Uh-huh. We've actually played a couple shows like that through people we've known in our other worlds, I guess. We've gotten asked to play certain shows. Like we played St. Andrews just around this Christmas.
Okay.
With a band called State Champs. And a good friend of ours, Ryan, plays in that band, and grew up with him. And they're like a pop punk rock band, and really catchy hooks. A completely different crowd than you get all four of us going up there while we're in bolo ties and cowboy hats, and
they're like, what are we
doing
in
our
for?
thing. And a lot of people are just truly shocked, like, what is this, you know?
Okay.
But people were down with it, which was really cool. I think the shock value helps. I don't know if we can play those shows forever, you know, but I think they're fun, and we have no problem playing those kinds of shows because, again, we just want to play. So
I love that. It's just like you don't care. It's just like, just let us play somewhere, you know. I mean, you're like itching to get the instrument and do your thing. Mm-hmm. It's kind of cool. Which brings me to another point that I was reading, that you guys wanted to hit all the dive bars in Detroit.
Yes.
I mean, that's got to be hundreds of dive bars.
Yeah, it's going to take a long time.
Have you started this endeavor?
Yes, we've got the rest of our lives. So
do you literally have like a chart and checking off?
I've made a list on my computer, and I keep adding to it. It's fun. It's like a fun goal. It'd be sweet to say we have done it, but it started up with this bar in Hamtramck called Kelly's.
Yes.
Which the first time we played there was 2 winters ago, and it was the worst snowstorm of the entire season. Oh, and we booked the gig with that intention of like, all right, we're gonna start playing every dive bar in Detroit we can imagine. We're starting at Kelly's, and none of us had ever been there before, but we've heard from friends that it's a hole in the wall for sure.
Okay.
And you go there, and you gotta set the PA up yourself. There's
Oh, wow.
You gotta
really
trade your ID in to get the microphone to use for the set. I say all this in a positive way. Like, this is
okay. That's just funny.
We will return once a year, but yeah, there was like 5 feet of snow on the ground, and we were like, no one's gonna come out anyways because we're a nothing band,
right? Well,
and then I think the fact that it was a blizzard, everyone was so holed up in their houses all day. They were like, we need to get out, so. The walk-in crowd for that night was amazing, and that was like that set us on a good path. We're like, this is sweet, you know.
And people were probably thinking, oh, no one's going to be playing anywhere because everything's canceled and everything. Yeah. And then you guys are playing.
We walked in, the bartender screamed. He's like, I can't believe you guys actually are still playing tonight.
Hey, a gig's a gig, man.
Exactly, and I mean that's how we all view it. We're
Very
like,
cool.
I don't care. We got to make it to the show somehow. Wrote a song about it, so.
Perfect. Yeah. What's the name of the song?
It's actually on the first record. That one's called Bolo Brothers.
Oh, okay.
It's about 4 feet of snow or 100 feet of rain. Don't matter. We'll make it to the show somehow. So.
Well, you definitely have to write a song in an experience like that one. So very cool. All right, how about we hear another song, Teddy?
Yeah.
All right.
This song, this is off the batch of the new ones. So.
Okay.
This one's called The City.
I don't wanna die waiting on red lights. Keep 'em green, keep me on my way. Can't remember dreams in a city that don't sleep. Could you help me find my way? Take me out of the city. Take my heart out on the road. Let me be a part of a life that you want. Take me anywhere that you go. Let me hear your plans. Can I be a part of them? I wanna tell you the truth. You've never been the type swept off your feet in city lights. I wanna be the one for you. last thing that I'll do. Take me out of the city. Take my heart out on the road. Let me be part of a life that you want. Take me anywhere that you go. Was once the same, now you're my own.
Teddy Roberts here on Behind the Mic. Nice.
Thank
Another
you.
a new one from the upcoming album.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm just curious where the mouths, the name the mouths came from. Is that just a random pull out of the air kind of thing, or
It's
does
just
it have a story behind it?
It's an inside joke with me and my buddies going back to old touring days and stuff in old bands. So it's pretty dumb, and honestly doesn't really make any sense. So I'll probably just leave it at that.
Oh, bummer.
But yeah, we're gonna cap
Put
it
me
off
out
there.
there, just
We'll
let
keep.
it
We'll
hang.
keep. I'm sorry, but we got to keep that one a mystery for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping to figure out because that's the mouths. Okay, this ought to have a good story, but apparently we won't get it today.
One of these days.
One of these days.
Yeah.
Or maybe you'll write a song about it.
I might have to write a song about it.
Yeah, because it's got to be intriguing.
Yeah.
Or embarrassing if you're one of those.
It's more embarrassing than
Okay.
anything, and I think we've all joked about we'll never tell anyone why it's embarrassing, and I think that he makes it funny. We've had some pretty cool show flyers because of it. A buddy of ours, I didn't ask him to do this, but for that show at Kelly's, his name is Brent Allen. He made a flyer, or I'm playing guitar in the front, and then it's the rest of the band, and it's actually just like pairs of lips holding drumsticks and guitars and all that crap. Dumb, but awesome.
Young boys,
Very
right?
cool. Exactly.
Young men.
Mm-hmm.
That's cute. All right. I was going to say, inquiring minds want to know, but apparently we're not going to find out. Okay. All right. Time for the Pam exam. These are just some basic questions,
Cool.
random questions, so feel free to top of your head kind of answers. If you had to share a 15-minute taxi ride with someone, who would that be?
I do with Buddy Rich,
Oh,
famous drummer.
yeah.
Yeah. First person that came to my head. For a
Yeah.
lot of cool stories. My old drum teacher has some stories about him. His name is Bill Cairo. He has a shop out in Redford.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Bill Cairo? That was
Yeah.
your drum teacher?
Yeah, I took lessons from Bill for like 9 years.
That's my cousin.
Really? That's crazy. Yeah, I've been
Oh my gosh.
I've known Bill since I was 5.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I grew up in Livonia, probably
Oh
like
my
a
gosh.
5-minute drive down
I
from
heard
the shop.
well, my grandma on my dad's side, oh my gosh, she's a Cairo. Oh my gosh.
Do you know Kenny Roberts? It was like his best friend growing up in high school. That's my dad. And
No.
they
no.
were good buds.
I may
but-
have met him and went down the line, but oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Wow, small world. The biggest obstacle in the music industry today is blank.
The biggest obstacle in the music industry is I'd say everybody falls victim to it, but just remaining yourself from day one until the final day, until you're gone, and just being who you are. It's so easy to mold tiny parts of you as you navigate to make certain people happy and this and that.
In the music business.
Yeah,
you
in the
mean.
music
Yeah.
business.
Mold
you know?
yourself to
Yeah.
fit that. Yeah.
And then you change your songs, you try and look a certain, you act a certain way and this and that, but you got to remind yourself of your idols and the people you look up to never cared what anyone thought, so.
Like that. And especially earlier on, like we're talking decades ago, that they really, it was all about the image. That was a huge part of it. And it's like, yeah, sometimes I think back, how many of the musicians really lost themselves because, the record labels wanted such and such,
Yeah.
which is interesting. All right, let's see. What is the your system for writing a song? We talked a little bit about, you come up with, the songs and bring them to everybody, but do you have a system to come up with those songs?
I don't. I usually will write them on piano or guitar, and I just kind of let it happen. A lot of my favorite songs are just like I've written really fast, and then it's always just funny. Like you just prove to yourself time and time again, the songs you spend months working on are cool, but they're never the best ones. Mm-hmm. So you just kind of when you have a moment and you're just feeling really good and inspired and having fun, writing a song for yourself. I guess that's the formula. Is write it for yourself.
Yeah, not necessarily think, oh, what would everyone like to hear, kind of thing.
Yeah. What would you want to listen to?
Yeah. I
listen to our record all the time because I genuinely think it's great, and we did a good job, and the boys did a great job on the album, and I genuinely love listening to it every now and then.
Okay.
And I think if you don't feel that way about your music, then don't write it, I guess,
Interesting.
Sounds selfish, but
no. A lot of
it's
times
fun.
People will say, artists, I've heard many artists say, when an album is done and gone, I don't go back and ever listen to it again. I move on.
I'm not discrediting albums and bands that put months and hours of work into their albums. I think that's happened to me before. And the reasons for not wanting to listen are because I'm just burnt out by the songs in general. Mm-hmm. But if the whole process is quick, you avoid the burnout. I think it can be fun to always go back and listen.
If you do it quickly and just write it down right away and do it right away, it's like sometimes the rawest version is the best.
Yeah, you always hear stories like that.
Yeah. No, I get that. That makes sense. All right, another question here. Best kept secret in Metro Detroit.
Best kept secret in Metro Detroit.
Yes.
Couple are coming to mind. I would put this under the blanket of Metro Detroit, but you hop on 96 West and you get off on Farmington, right there in Livonia. You go to Looney Baker.
Yes.
That's my best kept secret. Is Looney
They've been
Baker.
there a long time too, haven't they?
They've been there. I don't know. I feel like I should know because I'm probably their number one spender, but that's where I would spend all my days growing up. Because it was a 24-hour joint. You hang out there with your buds before you're 21, before you're drinking at bars, So we just hang out and drink coffee till 3 in the morning and smoke 1,000 cigarettes and think you're cool. So
so it's not. Is it a bakery? I thought it was it's a cafe kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's coffee. Right. It's coffee and donuts.
All right.
That's it.
All right.
That's
cool.
That's Metro Detroit.
That's your hangout there. So you still hang out there?
I'll pop in. It's funny. I'm not even that old. I'm not even 30 yet, but I consider myself part of the old crowd because I'll go in the mornings now to start my day. I'm not there hanging out at night anymore. I've passed that torch down. And again, I'm not even old, but
no, you're not.
You got to go there in the mornings now. So drink coffee.
You're growing up,
hour.
Teddy. You're growing up.
I'd call it growing up.
Cat or dog?
Dog. I was always a dog guy. Always will be.
Okay. If you were a spice, what would it be?
Cumin.
Cumin. Wow.
Yeah. It's a good fake. You can put it on anything.
A fake.
Put it on anything and make it sound.
That's got certainly a specific flavor and smell.
I use it the most in my kitchen, so that's
okay.
That's the one I'm choosing.
Are you a big cook?
No.
You cook to eat.
I cook to eat, but I think it's fun. I would rather go out to eat every night, but
that gets old after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can only go to Looney and eat bagels and donuts so many times.
Unfortunately.
How about your craziest fan experience?
I wish I had any.
Not yet. All right,
no.
we'll keep that.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, okay, I got one actually. I wouldn't even call him a fan. Maybe converted fan, but we played a show at PJ's Lager House a year and a half, like 2 years back, and some guy after the set comes up to me and he's like, yo, I want to tell you something, like, and he walks me to the staircase where it's light. He has to tell me something and show me something because it was really dark right at the front of the stage right after the set, and we headlined there. It was an awesome show. We were all feeling great. And then I walk over, I talk to this guy, and he shows me his driver's license, and his name is Teddy Roberts.
Oh.
And he's like, I'm gonna be honest, I've never heard your music ever. I have no clue who you are, but I saw a flyer for your show on Facebook and printed out in some shop. So I was like, I have to go to see my soul brother. And so there I am hanging out with another guy named Teddy Roberts, and he's like, I actually ended up really enjoying your set. And then he followed us on Instagram or whatever. I consider him a fan now.
Yeah.
Just because we share the same name. If I'm older and I see a young band with the exact same name as mine, regardless of how they sound, I'm gonna go. And
why not? Check it out. You're
Yeah.
just curious, right?
You never know.
You never know.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
That is. Is there a song, person, or event that inspired you to go into the music biz?
My dad had a 70s baby blue Rogers drum kit in our basement, and I begged him to set it up one day, and then ever since he set it up, I've just been obsessed, and I would play it every day. And then obviously playing drums led me to doing what I'm doing now, and I'd say it'd be my dad's drum kit being at the house.
Okay.
If we didn't have that drum kit, I bet I would have still ended up playing drums, but would have gone on a different road, and that kit is really nice, and I still have it, and
So
I think just having it that accessible. I remember we were out to dinner, and still I was like probably like 4 or 5, which is still so young to have this memory. But we were out to eat somewhere, and then they were talking about it. My dad played in a wedding band called the Gems and Gents. That was the story, and so we were like, we're going home, and you're gonna set up the drum kit, and I'm just gonna play. And I didn't know I could play drums, but I knew I wanted to.
Yeah.
I was like, that sounded like fun. And it just worked out.
Cool. Did he teach you anything, or just let you go?
Yeah, I mean, that first day I was just wailing on him.
Banging on the
just
drum.
having a blast, And I just did literally every day, all day. And then I started taking lessons. My dad taught me stuff, and then Bill Cairo taught me a lot of everything I know.
Very good. That's cool. Just a conversation spurred something, and then, I mean, they were obviously in the basement. I mean, but were they covered up? You didn't really notice them before?
They were in our furnace room, like in cases.
Yeah, okay.
And I don't think I was allowed to go in the furnace room because it was scary.
The big bad furnace.
Yeah.
All right, we talked about, your age, and, you're saying you've referenced being older already a couple of times, but what do you miss most about being younger?
Not having any bills. Not paying. Actually, when you're younger, you don't have to pay car insurance yet. That's what it'll come down to. That's the one that makes me the most angry is car insurance. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Yeah. Doesn't matter what age you are. It's
just dumb.
Okay, fill in the blank here. I'm really good at blank. I'm really bad at blank.
I said I'm really good at hockey. That's my secret. And we're in the Hockeytown Cafe. So I played hockey growing up, and being here is bringing back the old days.
Fun.
And when the Wings won 97, 98 back-to-back, and me also playing in a house league at 7 and 8 years old, that was one of the most exciting times of my life, being a Red Wings fan. So it actually is really cool walking in here and seeing all this Red Wings stuff, because I haven't been here in a minute. So yeah, I'm really good at hockey. I have no shame in saying that out loud.
What was your position?
I started on defense, and then I played center, and then was captain for a long time. Not to toot my own horn on the radio or anything. But
So are you still like
no,
lace up the skates? No.
I'll play pickup games here and there, but I'm too scared. if either one of my 4 limbs goes out, and then I'm out of a job.
Oh,
so I gotta keep it somewhat chill.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm really
goodness.
bad at I'm bad at so many things. I'm bad at self-control when it comes to eating crap. Looney Baker, for example, you can't just get one, you got to get 2.
Oh, okay.
One of those types. So.
All right, your favorite non-music pastime?
My favorite non-music pastime? Hockey. I'm going to say.
Okay.
Yeah, I loved it. Still love it.
Okay. So, rooting for the Wings to change things around and get back to where they should be, right?
Yeah. Getting there.
All right.
1 year at a time.
Yes. Well, you know, things change and
It's part of the
rebuild.
process,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Can't be winners every year. It keeps things exciting.
What are you most thankful for?
Most thankful for my family and friends. And just having the opportunity to pursue such a crazy, stupid thing, you know? Not many people are fortunate to have the option to, like, I'm just going to get in the van and grind it out and try and make it as a musician. And I'm not discrediting the amount of work I've put in and my friends have put in, but some people are less fortunate than I am. So I definitely don't take it for granted, the opportunities that I have. And all the very cool places I've gone because of it. So for that, I'm grateful.
One last question. Best advice ever given to you?
Oh, man. Best advice ever given. I've heard a lot of good things. A lot of one-liners. I don't know. There's a million things. My sister told me one time, I think she stole this from, like, she was like a huge Jason Mraz fan back in the day, as was I when I was young. I think he was at a concert and he was absolutely blazed out of his mind and played for 3 hours. And she said that he said on the microphone, "We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time." And I've always said that as a joke, but I also buried that very deep in my brain because every day you gotta, don't take things too seriously. Have fun.
I like
Who cares? Just have fun. Don't take yourself too seriously.
Here we go.
Play some tunes and move on.
Well, let's play a tune here. We can get right to that one. One more song for us?
Cool.
What do you got?
This song's on the first album. It's called Together Again.
All right. Teddy Roberts.
The day is long, an evening shift on the way. Can I work with you? Your break room cup of coffee in late afternoon. Can I sit with you? I want to be together again. I want to be together again. This time apart is harder than I thought. I wanna be together. You brush your teeth, the cat is staring at you. Can I look at you too? Your record skips, the needle's dusty and through. Can I listen to? Instead I'll sing for you. I want to be together again. I want to be together again. This time apart is harder than I thought. I wanna be together. The day is done, sunrise will bring something new. Can I start the day with you? Before I end the day with you, can I spend my life with you?
Teddy Roberts
Thank you.
on Behind the Mic. Where can people find out, like, where you're going to play and, follow you to get your music and all the best place for that?
I would say right now, like Instagram and Facebook we use every day.
Okay.
The Instagram, my personal one is just my name, Theodore Roberts, and then we have one for the Mouths separately. That's tagged It's the Mouths. That's where we post a lot of the show flyers and fun film photos and random things and stuff. So we switch back and forth between the two. And then we're on Facebook as well. So.
Facebook, okay. So people can find you if they want to.
Yeah,
figure
and
out
then
where you're
music's
at.
all over Spotify, Apple Music, wherever, every streaming place you can find. So
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Well, it's been fun. Thank you so much for coming in and playing for us and chatting. Get to know you a little more, even though we didn't figure out what the Mouths is all about. Next time, yeah.
Come back next year.
All right. You promise you'll tell us what it means?
Well, yeah, we'll work up to it.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Okay. Again, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming and playing for us today. So, Teddy Roberts today here on Behind the Mic. And thanks to all of you out there for tuning in and watching as you do each and every week. We really appreciate that. And we'll do another one next Wednesday here from MusicTown, downtown Detroit. Until then, I'm Pam Rossi. Have a great week.